Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my YouTube channel and another love wisdom message to share with you. Do you find yourself attracting similar type relationship patterns that seem to be unhealthy and that are negative? In other words, and you just seem to be attracting that same type of pattern in your relationships in your love life. Well, this is the term that I use, the reincarnated partner, where it's still the same type of personality and the same way from previous partners, except that they have a different body and a different name. So these are some of the things that I would like to talk about in this video, about breaking this pattern and really stepping into being in alignment with your own divine partner, your soulmate, or the one who is aligned with you, twin flame, or however you want to refer to them as. So I would like to share a few things about the keys, the sacred keys or sacred heart keys that will help enable you to start building that path of breaking those bad habits and those negative patterns. And as a quote goes from Benjamin Franklin, and Benjamin Franklin, for those who don't know, was one of the founding fathers of the United States, and he's one of the ones who helped with the U.S. Constitution, but he was also a philosopher, and he was very much into the virtues. And so just a brief history on him. And one of his famous quotes is, never leave that till tomorrow which you can do today. So in other words, don't procrastinate on things that you could be doing now in this present moment. As we find ourselves at the verge of this huge astrological events happening, this is the eve of the winter solstice of December 2020. So today is December 20 of 2020. The winter solstice is December 21st. The energies are building up or are already intense in that we are jumping through this portal. And of course, the effects will last for a while as we're stepping into a new age. And it's a very rare astrological event. So as such, it is very important that we really assess a lot of things in our life, starting with the 2020 and how everything went this year and all the changes that you've gone through. And I imagine that from the beginning of 2020, you're not the same person as you are now. Your perception has shifted. So in that regards, it is important that we start to really look at some of the karmic and ancestral patterns in us that we need to break free from, so that we are able to step forward and increasing our ascension path, accelerating that path to increase our frequency, to be in the vibration of love. So for those who don't know, I am Monica Bermudez, and I am a self-love intuitive energy healer. And I do channel light language. So I'm very much into breaking free of the patterns related to karma and ancestral, as I did for myself in my own personal experience. My biggest wake-up call was after a divorce that triggered me on this path of even deeper spiritual awakening into my own soul purpose, which I am now in service of to support others to break free from those patterns and jump into healthier relationship in their life and expand your heart even more and deeper. Because that's where it all starts, is in the heart, the foundation of your own temple, which is your body, that houses your soul, your divine self. And your guides do want you to know how much you're loved and how much support they're giving to you with all these changes that are happening around the world. And so they do want you to help you with your expansion of your own heart because that is the way for us moving forward in this ascension path, is to embrace an even greater amount of love. But that's starting with self, not just external love to love others. We have to also start looking at ourselves in the eyes of love and really start to appreciate ourselves as well and see who we really are as these divine beings. So this is a reminder for all of us to really wake up and really start looking at all this and all the changes that are happening on this planet. So now let's look at the ways to break some of these patterns, these relationship negative, unhealthy patterns in our life. Number one, you want to, first of all, ask a very deep question of self-reflection. And that is, and you may want to write it down, why am I attracting this type of relationship? And it could be a toxic relationship, could be unhealthy, could be some form of pattern that just seems to be triggering you. And you started to notice that in previous heartbreak patterns before, previous relationships. So really start digging in deep into those subconscious levels of what is there that may have been maybe from childhood that you may be picking up, something that may seem familiar and that's easy to just gravitate towards naturally. And sometimes this may be even way before this lifetime as a human. And that's talking about the previous human lifetimes. And also carrying some of those ancestor patterns as well from other family lineage of the family tree. And notice how these patterns are impacting your life and your love life in this lifetime itself, and who it is that you're finding attractive, who it is you're gravitating towards. And also ask the question within that deep question is, am I attracted to this person because they're filling a void of my own trauma or some pain from past trauma that hasn't completely healed, and yet you feel that the other will be able to alleviate that pain for you? And it's almost like, falling into that terminology that's called codependency, where you depend on others to really fill in that void for you. But it is a codependency between two ways, right? So that's something to pay attention to. It's a very deep question to ask, and it's best to start asking that question if you haven't already, and make notes of what your higher self and your guidance, your own spiritual guides, are telling you, and what it is that you need to work on yourself. Which leads us into number 2, becoming as self-awareness, becoming as conscious as possible to be aware of how you talk to yourself, your own thoughts about yourself, what you think about yourself, emotionally as well. Do you easily get frustrated with yourself when you make a mistake? Do you start to insult yourself in other ways? And sometimes we tend to do this at a subconscious level and not realize how much we're putting ourselves down and becoming so self-critical to the point that we belittle ourselves. And that also is a pattern that triggers some of the unworthiness as well. And this may very well come from your own childhood, but it may come from even before that in karmic past lives. And that's something that I discovered myself when I went through my dark night of the soul, which was the most intense after my heartbreak, my biggest heartbreak of the divorce. And I share these messages and these tips with you so that it helps you to also know that, first of all, you're not alone. And there's, ways for you to also find a way into this path of light. If you're experiencing the dark night of the soul at the moment, you want to navigate towards the light. So consider these sacred tips to be a form of light for you, to assist you in being able to break free from those patterns that are holding you back. Because this is not the time to be holding these patterns. This is a time to let them go as we're stepping forward into this portal of energy. So it leads us to number 3, and that is self-love practice. Make it a good habit in your life of finding ways to practice your own self-love on yourself. So after going through number 2, you're becoming aware how much you may be criticizing yourself or belittling yourself. Then you want to start shifting that and turning it into other words of love and care and compassion for yourself. Because that's really where it all starts, within your own heart. And that is how you start to open your heart as well, and opening that trust so that you're able to heal and be able to create a path forward to bring in a healthy relationship, your divine partner, and building that road and that path towards that person. So once you set yourself clear from those number 3s that I just shared with you, then you're able to understand what it is that you're looking for, because you're already starting to know yourself much better. So that is the key, is also know thyself. As the temples of Delphos said in Greece, ancient Greece, and it's also from ancient Egypt as well. A lot of things were adopted from ancient Egypt into ancient Greece. And so I welcome your comments and feedback on how this has helped you and how you plan to move forward with your love life and your relationships. And so I look forward to hearing from you and connecting with you on them. So just remember that you yourself have the power to make those choices in your life, to make these choices of big changes in your life, in your love life. Build a relationship with yourself first. Know thyself first. And love thyself even more than you can ever imagine. So you know yourself and you will fall in love with yourself. That is how it starts, because you accept yourself the way you are. And you stand tall, strong, like a tree, with its roots really deep into the ground, except that you're building your roots inside your heart with this deeper inner love, this fountain of love, because that is your birthright. That is our birthright. And these are just reminders of the things that we are, because it's time for us to really wake up. It's time for us to step on the path of the higher frequency of love. And it's not tomorrow, it's today. It's in the present moment. And as Benjamin Franklin's quote says, don't wait till tomorrow, what you can do today. So don't think about it, just do it. Now, if you want to dig in deeper into the layers of what is holding you back or keeping your heart super closed, and you feel that there's something in your heart that you want to dig in even deeper in some of the patterns, whether it be karma or ancestral, please reach out to me. You can go to my website that is in the description box and click on Apply Now for a complimentary Sacred Heart Awakenings Breakthrough session, where I can discuss with you ways of repairing and healing your heart energetically and activating your heart. Because that is my specialty, to start with the heart and build its way into the chakra systems itself. Because that is really where a lot of the energetic layers are buried within the cells itself. So my specialty is to bring all that together and bring your whole heart together. The chakra system, the lower, the upper, all around. The heart has an amazing frequency strength of energy that interconnects with each of us when we relate to each other in relationships. So it is important to take the time to really heal the heart and keep it open with trust, with love, knowing that you are safe in all that you're doing. It's the strength of love which is much stronger. And no matter how much things may get tough or painful, the heart is always there to comfort you with the infinite amount of love that you have within the heart. And before I conclude, I just wanted to make a special announcement that on Monday, December 21st, which is the day of the winter solstice, I plan to come on Facebook Live at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Time, to do a brief guided meditation for humanity, the collective, to tune in with the energies of this great conjunction and winter solstice, or whatever mixture of energies that's happening on that day as we're all jumping through this portal, which is going to last for a while. So I invite you to come to my Facebook group, and you'll find the link in my description as well. Feel free to invite your friends and family as well, because the more that we all come together, the greater in the strength of energy that we can shift this entire planet so that we are able to ascend at even greater heights in the frequency of love and be able to break free from even deeper patterns itself at a collective level. So I invite you to join me for that. And I also invite you, as I am a special guest at the Voice America radio show, Love Light, Living in the Spirit of Love, with the host, Dr. Jean Faresh. And this is scheduled for Friday, January 15, 2021 at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Time. And I will be sharing a message about relationships and how to get out of those heartbreak moments, as well as discuss my light language too. So please tune in to this special event, and you'll also find the information in the description. I will be one of the first guests for 2021 as we're stepping into this whole new year. A new age is upon us. So these are the times for a greater amount of change and wake up. So I invite you on that day to tune in to the radio, and I hope to connect with you soon. And I'll just conclude with one more quote. And this quote is from, so the quote is from Confucius. Sorry about that. And this one says, "Wheresoever you go, go with all your heart." So it doesn't matter where your path is taking you, just remember you always have your heart with you. That is your own foundation, your own home. The one that is holding you together with your own self-love. So I'm sending you so much love, and I will connect with you in the next Love Wisdom video in my YouTube channel or in Facebook Live. So sending you so much love. Take care.